Okay, Mama. We've already went over the homework from last week, and so I appreciate you doing that. This week, we're gonna go ahead and set our agenda. As you know, we do that every week. So, um, what are some of the things that have been going on this week?
I've just been feeling kind of depressed due to my divorce with my husband. Really kind of struggling with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, now that we're living in separate houses, we have a 3-year-old son, and sometimes my son has to go over there. And sometimes I feel like my son is choosing him over me.
Okay, so for our agenda today, would it be fair to say you want to put on uh, dealing with your husband leaving the home?
Um, yes,
Okay,
we could do that.
all right. Um, and let's see, what else would you like to put on the agenda for today? Anything else that's been
My
you've been dealing with this week?
has been, I think I'm depressed. Depression.
Your depression. Um, Depression is kind of broad. Anything more specific that's led to your depression? I know you said your husband left. What other event happened that may have led to your depression?
Um, it's like the other morning when I woke up, I felt depressed when I realized he wasn't there.
Okay, so let's make that number two. Realizing husband not there, was not there. Okay. Um, were those the two main things that happened this week that has led to your depression?
Mainly because I just haven't feel like doing anything.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, which of these two that are on our agenda, which one of these two would you like for us to kind of take a closer look at?
Um, I really think that kind of go hand in hand because I'm feeling my depression because he's gone.
Okay.
We've
Okay.
been married for 10 years, and I've never
Married for
been
10
without
years.
him.
Okay. Okay. So you say they go hand in hand. So when did you realize that he was gone? What what happened that made you really finally realize that he was gone?
This morning,
Okay, this morning.
yesterday morning,
Okay. And what happened yesterday
maybe.
morning?
I just kind of rolled over in bed and looked at that empty space and realized it's gone.
Okay.
And I just got really close.
Okay. Well, I've got a technique that I want to use for this session. It's called a thought record, and I want us to try to um, see if we can get you thinking differently about him leaving. Um, so we already know, if you can look on here with me, we already know the situation. And you said the situation or the event is that your husband left and you realized this when you woke up yesterday morning and you rolled over, he was no longer there.
Yeah, right.
So that's what that's the situation. So next we want to try to look at what we typically look at is what we call automatic negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember, we kind of touched on that earlier in our sessions. Um, and those are thoughts that automatically come to mind when something, when an event happens that is not too favorable in our lives. So what were you thinking when you rolled over and you saw that he wasn't there? What thoughts ran through your mind?
Um, I felt so to think I couldn't make it by myself. Like, how can I pay for the bill? Um,
Okay.
how could I go out and face the world? You know, we've been married for 10 years and we did everything together.
Okay.
We went to church together, we did vacation every year, we did weekly visits, weekly family activities together. And then not only that, every once a week we had our special night.
Okay.
And so, and I just started thinking, what's the good enough is what the life of a family.
Okay.
It's not even good life.
Okay. All right. So you got all these thoughts that are running through your mind after you rolled over and found out that he was gone and hadn't been there and stuff there. What emotions did you have after you started thinking about all these things, the bills, and you can't face the world? What emotions did you feel?
Now that was one of the highest times of my depression.
Okay.
When I wake up in the morning.
Okay.
Because it's usually right there.
Uh-huh.
So my depression would be like on a high level.
Okay.
Depression.
Okay.
And I start to feel lonely because he usually holds me enough.
Okay.
And then I got real angry.
Okay.
I got really pissed off.
That's understandable. Okay. So you were lonely, you were angry, you were highly depressed.
Yes, it's been
Okay.
especially in the morning.
Okay. So what we want to look at is we want to take what happened, you know, the situation, your husband left, and then we want to start to look at your negative thoughts. You said you were thinking, I can't make it. You can't make it in the world alone. The bills came to mind. How can I pay these bills by myself? You said you can't face the world. You said I'm not a good wife. I'm a failure. All these negative things, all these negative automatic thoughts came to your mind. And then in turn, you felt depressed, lonely, and angry.
Yeah,
So what I want to be able to help you see is the connection between how all these negative thoughts usually lead to negative behaviors and feelings. So what did you do after you started feeling depressed and lonely and angry?
I didn't do anything. I just really just looked at it, seen the spot was down, and well, I did. I just pulled the cover over my head.
Okay, so you just pulled the cover over your head and really just didn't want to face the world.
I didn't want to do anything else. I just wanted to pull the cover over my head and do a lot.
Okay. Okay.
I was hurting, and I just felt like going in this little world I myself, where the covers protected me,
Okay.
and they was holding me.
Mhm. Okay. So, if you lay in the bed all day and you continue to have these negative thoughts run through your mind, um, you're really not going to be that productive in taking care of your son, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what we want to try to do is we want to try to see if we can change look at some of your negative thoughts and kind of change those thoughts and come up with some alternative thoughts that may be more positive, put a positive spin on your thoughts, and see if we can get you to get your emotions to be a little bit more positive and your behaviors to be a little bit more productive in your life. So, what evidence do you have that will support the thoughts that you had? Do you have any evidence that, because we know what happened. So what thoughts do you have that will support?
Hell, he's gone and packed all his clothes up
Okay.
and left.
Okay.
He packed up everything he bought, but all his belongings, and not only that, he has his own place.
Oh, okay.
He has an apartment.
So he now has his own place.
Mm-hmm.
He packed all his belongings
And left.
and he is gone.
And he don't even pay no money.
And you have no money right now.
No, not to pay the bills.
Okay. Okay, so that is some evidence that would support the fact that he is gone. Let's look at it in another way. Let's look at some evidence to support what happened, to prove that it's not true. The thoughts that you had, all these negative thoughts that came running through your mind. What evidence do you have to support that may not necessarily be true?
Well, it's hard to think that it's not.
Right, I understand.
However, I've been doing a lot of praying.
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of crying, a lot of praying, a lot of praying, a lot of praying.
Okay.
So I kind of thought this, because when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm not sleeping well. Let me say that.
Okay.
And so when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I could spend some quality time with God.
Okay.
And I could sit there in the bed and read my Bible without disturbing anybody.
Okay. So that kind of brings us to the alternative thoughts. That's another thought, another way of thinking about the situation, right? It's giving you time to be with God. Okay.
And he has looked out his voice.
Okay. So you really don't have divorce.
No, I say that, but we're just separated.
Okay. So it's really not final, as you had said in your first thought.
Right.
Your first automatic negative thought was that this is the end, this is over, how can I face the world? That's kind of final. But really, you don't even have any divorce papers. So we can put that as evidence that it's not true, right?
Right. I'm free.
No divorce papers. Okay. Can you come up with another thought that may put a positive spin on things? What's an alternative way of thinking about him leaving? Will this give you another chance to do anything else in your life?
I don't know.
I know you said earlier in one of our earlier sessions that you would like to go back to work.
Yeah, I would like to go back to work again. I would spend my money on daycare for my son. But I just one thing that he hasn't gotten up to another relationship. So he's still single.
Okay, okay. So that would be evidence against.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No other relationship. Okay. Which brings us to, a positive thought of there's a chance that you all could make amends of the relationship, maybe get some counseling, and get back together and and go to and keep having a happier marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
Pretty much, yes, I do.
Okay, so let's put that in our alternative thought category. Um, I'm gonna say repair the marriage. Okay. So you see how this kind of works. This technique is good for putting our thoughts down on paper. It's kind of like journaling in a systematic way. You can look at a certain situation that's happening to you and what you thought about and how you felt during that situation, and then kind of come up with some rational things that may support or not support the way you're thinking. And then it gives you another category on how to kind of change those thoughts, come up with better positive alternative thoughts. Okay? So I think because this just happened, I think what I want to do for our next session, in between sessions, I think I want to give you a blank one of these. We've already filled this one out for this session. But what I want to do is I want to give you a blank one as some homework for next week. And anytime you feel low or a situation has come up, such as the one of your husband leaving in the leak, and it's getting you feeling depressed and angry and lonely, I want you to write the situation down and just follow the steps. And because you can really do this on your own even before you get to our session.
Okay.
And tell me how it went for you and if it helped or not.
Okay.
Okay?
I can do that.
All right, Ramara. I'll see you next week.
All right.
Same time, 10 o'clock. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.